Hello, I want to welcome the new subscribers. Thank you very much. It is very appreciated that you have joined my channel. This is Babcia with Babcia's Coffee and Crafts, located on the YouTube channel Legacy's Little Luxuries. Today is October 2nd on a Friday. And as I go along, I'm going to take my time with this, so I will be taping it in a sequence, okay? I might end up not uploading this DIY video until later on next week. Let's grab the coffee and head on into the craft room. Boy, I hear that our president and his wife tested positive for COVID-19. This is not a good start of a holiday season, is it? Well, let's just send our blessings and prayers out to him, his family, and then the staff. You sit across the table here and pull up a chair. No more political talk. We will talk about something fun and exciting. Meanwhile, let's go over some of the products I picked up. I went to DollarTree yesterday. They have the smaller styrofoam balls and they have the bigger styrofoam balls, at least at my DollarTree. And then I picked up a couple boxes of the white tinseled fake trees. Not the green ones. However, you can use the green ones if you can't find the white. I went next door to Walmart, picked up a few pieces of pink felt, pink Waverly quarter sheets, fat quarters they're called, and of course invested in a $4 roll of mesh ribbon. It's a 10-inch and it has the snowball texture. I don't really like working with mesh, but I will for this project. And then various colors of ribbon in pinks that I'll be using this season because my theme is Paris and the colors are basically going to be geared toward pink and silver. Enough chit chat. Let's get started on this cute DIY that you are going to want to make and share with your crafty friends. And you learned it here with Babcia. The first thing I like to do is my painting, because it takes a little while to dry. This is a DollarTree witch hat that I removed the tinsel from. I'm going to use this in the future. However, I'm finding that the styrofoam balls from DollarTree, once I start painting them, I can just tap them up here on the top of this witch hat and then let them dry. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my painting finished, and I think the only thing I will paint is the nose. So I'm using Cameo Pink Apple Barrel. That will dry, and then I'm going to glitter blast just a dab on the noses to bring out that silver. So once again, pink and silver, kind of the theme this year. The DollarTree white trees, you have to pull apart every single branch because a few of them will stick together. Okay? And then you have a cute little tree. And it does come with pieces for a stand. Spread every one of those limbs out. Take a look at it and eyeball it. Now, you can go ahead and proceed making the mittens and the hat, and then adding the nose. But I want to add some of the white deco mesh to fill it in a little bit, like garland. Okay? And that's what I'll do next. Now this is a 10-inch roll. I am going to cut it in half, so it's 5 inches, and then bunch it up, roll it around this Christmas tree. Okay? Alright, I have 70 inches cut, and that is in half of the 10-inch roll, so they're about 5 inches a piece. Okay, I want to briefly go over this mesh compared to the Dollar Tree mesh. Now you see that I cut it, and look at it, doesn't fray. No matter what side I cut it on, it did not fray. Dollar Tree mesh, deco mesh frays. Why? It has tinsel woven into the mesh. So once you cut a piece of tinsel, it's broke. There's no mending. There's no going back. It frays. It will always fray. The best thing you can do when you buy deco mesh from Dollar Tree is use it for the curl method. So you curl it like this, and then it keeps it from fraying. So if you find that you need ribbons, or you like to make a curly mesh theme wreath, then buy the deco mesh at Dollar Tree. I do not buy the deco mesh at Dollar Tree anymore, because my projects, I like my projects to look neat. Okay? Like I've taken my time on it. When deco mesh starts to fray on you, it becomes your enemy basically. It makes it look like you're doing shoddy work. And if you follow me, you know I don't do shoddy work. I take my time. I videotape in sequence. So, you know, I'm not just uploading a 1-hour video and then doing it from start to finish. I will stop, go do something else, go about my business, allow items to dry naturally, etc., etc. Glue to adhere. But this is why I invested in this type of mesh from Walmart, and it's worth it for what I need it for anyways. That is my tip. You can buy some deco mesh to decorate your tree for your gnome from Dollar Tree, but just remember when you go to cut it, that's why it will fray. Plus it's also made from plastic. People are using a wood burner to cut so that the plastic fibers will melt while it's going through the cutting stage. However, tinsel cannot stand heat. Tinsel crinkles up when it is bonded with heat. So with the wood burner, it won't mend that tinsel that is woven into the Dollar Tree deco mesh. If they make any mesh that does not have tinsel in it, if you cannot see tinsel in it, that's the best type of mesh for you for this project to use as a garland. Okay, that is just my tip, my personal experience. No right or wrong. It's just what my experience has been and way I want my work to look later on down the road. And I don't want frays on my deco mesh. Okay? Another clue, if you don't want to use deco mesh, use burlap. When you cut burlap, that seems to hold. And if it does fray, it adds character to the burlap. But it's not like all over the place. So you can substitute this for some burlap. And Dollar Tree does sell the little burlap rolls. They have them in red too this year. I've seen some red, I've seen some blue, brown. But you can use a roll of that and cover it up around on the tree. That's another little tip. Alrighty, enough of this jibber jab. Let's get going. And I hope you understand I am here to teach you from my bad experiences. You don't have to go through it and waste money going through it. Right? My first piece of 5" by 70 inches, I wrapped around the inside of the tree. My second piece, I am casually wrapping it around, flowing the tree. I am going to need to cut, I thought 2 70-inch pieces would suffice. It did not. I am going to cut out another 70. No, I'm going to go with, I think, because all I need is I have some here and here. I just want to decorate this area, so I'm going to use another 40 inches. So add that. I am learning as you are learning. I am not doing this like I've done it before. This is new to me. It's new to you. Welcome to my channel. My mistakes, you learn. Okay, while I was digging in the craft stash, looking for a few things that I might consider, guess what I found? Some DollarTree deco mesh. I want to explain. Here's the fraying. Okay, there's the tinsel. So once you cut this, the tinsel breaks. You can use a wood burner to melt the pink plastic that's in here, but it's not going to melt the tinsel. It's going to shrivel it up. And then this is why I don't use the deco mesh. However, best thing to do with this is to curl it. You curl it up and make yourself some bows. That's what I was using it for last year. And that way nothing's fraying. Okay? That's great. We could do that. We could make little bows and put it on my gnome or on your gnome. It adds color because I do like the tinsel. I do like to have that shimmer. But that's why I wouldn't use it to wrap my little gnome project here on the DollarTree tree because of the fraying. And here's the tinsel. Wow. So I found this and I might use it. I might not. We'll see. But I wanted to demonstrate. I did not think I had any more, but I do. And I wanted to demonstrate what I was talking about earlier. I am using hot glue on low temp. Just gluing my tip of the end of my mesh up at the top, and then anywhere I want it to lay on the tree without it popping off, I can add a dab of glue here and there. Okay, so here's a little section. I'm just going to place it on that tinsel, and look at it, it won't melt the tinsel because it's on low temp, and then place it, and press down on it. You could pick this up at Walmart's high-low temp. I have a DIY video on what it looks like and what type of glue to buy with it, because you do need a specific type of multi-temp glue. I get it at Walmart. It's really cheap. Okay, so I just want it so that it has this added effect to it. Nothing fancy, and it's sheen, so it doesn't really show, but that's my point I want to get at later. Because I will add. After you wrapped it with whatever material you wanted to use, garland, deco mesh, look for your center and find 2 branches that will become arms. Okay, I think I found them. And we will make some mittens. Take a piece of cloth and draw. I'm going to freehand it. Nothing special, nothing particular. But when you make the pattern and you draw it, make sure you fold it then in half to cut it so that both pieces will match up while you glue. And also another tip, when you draw this on, make sure it's a little bigger than what you want it to be, because we're turning it inside out before we place it on the tree. Okay, the best tip to making these tiny little gloves and doing it free-handed without paying for them and buying them, you want to start out making them larger. You take your second one and you make it smaller, and you have to eyeball it to your specification. There's not going to be any perfect hand because everybody is going to have a different view on it. But once you're satisfied and happy with your first one, you will take that one, trace around it, make it a little bit larger, because then what I do is I just cut up the little pieces of felt, stuff it in there, hot glue the glove together with it on low temp. And I leave the sleeve opened right here so that I can slide in the limb. If not, you can cut it, slide it in. That's my suggestion. After you take your pattern that you're satisfied with, you want to glue it right here on the edge first. Okay. This glue is not hot, so you know. Okay, now in here, you have yourself a little pouch. I take the leftover pieces of felt and stuff it with it, just to make it poof up. You can use cotton balls. If you have some cotton balls in the bathroom. I'm using the felt because it's already cut up. What am I going to do with the other pieces but toss it? So this is what I will do. I'll just start stuffing the top part first. Once I'm satisfied with that, I will start to seal up the glove right where the thumb meets. Right there. Okay? This job is a little tedious. Take your time on it. When you buy some felt, buy a couple pieces so you can practice. Rome wasn't built in a day, and I've never made this before myself. So, okay, so you're gradually puffing it out a little bit at a time. So now I'm going to stuff this area, close it up, and then I'll have a little slit right in that area. I will proceed to stick the limb in through there, add a little hot glue, and then seal it, and then it won't come off the tree. Going to give you a couple more ideas about this tree just as soon as I show you. So I just stuffed it, hot glued it. It's nothing fancy. I got a little bit of glitter on my thumb. Nothing fancy, but you have that little hole. Find the piece you want. I think it's this one I wanted. Stick the branch down in, and then seal it up with some hot glue. Okay? There you have it. In my last DIY, I made the moon gnome, and I used these crystal strands. Have to get some more online. They're on Amazon. And I do have some outside in my yard on my tree stumps. Miss Legacy grabbed a bunch of these, made them really long, and cut them, and then used them for hair out on the tree stumps. So I will be going outside to repurpose. But this will pick up the light on this tree. I wanted to show you that is what I'm going to do later on. I'm just showing you basic that you can go out and get right now and you can afford. Felt, the DollarTree Christmas tree, and then some deco mesh to cover it. Or say you don't find the white tree and you find the green tree and you want it a little longer. You can buy the DollarTree single spruce wire sprigs and then add them into your body, and it will make it fuller. That is another idea. Now with the Waverly 99-cent piece of fabric from Walmart, you can make a hat. This is a good size piece. Okay, and all we're going to do is glue it, and we're going to make ourselves a hat. However, I'm going to show you a little tip on how we can make the hat bend so that it just doesn't flop when we set it up on top of the tree. And in order to do that, you need pipe cleaners. And since that's a sheer color pink, I need pipe cleaners that won't show through that cloth. So I have to dig into my craft stash and find some silver pipe cleaners or white pipe cleaners. And then we'll continue with this project. But here we go. We have the mittens. And then I suggest also to glue the stand if you want to glue the pieces on it. But I wrapped it. I don't want to show that little bar, but that's okay. That's me. That's my preference. Now here we go. We're doing great. And the nose is drying slowly. So let's get started on this hat. The hat idea is however wide you would like it to be. It's on you. So what I do is I just cut two matching, almost matching triangles to however high it will be. Doesn't have to be perfect. I don't use any particular pattern. I just go with basically the object I'm going to place it on. I look at the tree and I think, well, how tall is the tree? Or do I want my hat to flop over? Or do I want it to stand up? And I'm going to show you a little trick of standing it up today. So you just have your pieces, and of course we will glue them together. The hot glue is not warmed up yet because it's on low, and I just came back in the room. This is later at night. I decided to redo this portion of the video because I sort of just skipped over it when I was making the first gnome. So I'm going to do a better detailed of it because I always need a second hat anyways. But basically what we're going to do is glue all this, turn it inside out, but we'll add a little hidden piece here at the top. Did you see somebody over there at the corner? Let's see if we keep an eye on this one. Watch the corner. Anyhow, let me glue . And there he goes, right to the floor. Now you know why I like to close the door to my craft room. Let me go fix this and I'll be right back. Good old trusty Miss Commissioner. So, the door is closed now. And Everly's home for the night. And Legacy's home for the night. Another quiet evening now. So we're just going to hot glue the edges of this piece. Decided to use my turntable here. And I'm on my last pack of batteries. So I see I have to put that on my list the next time I go to the store if I want to continue doing these DIYs. This hot glue does not get very hot. So if you make a mistake, you can always pull it apart and do it again. Fancy. Just get the two pieces together. It's going to be inside out, so nobody's going to see any of the mistakes or whatnot. Alrighty. Dollar Tree sells rollers. These rollers are very flexible. So what I want to do is place it in the tip of the hat. So when the gnome's going to wear the hat, you can bend that hat to conform any direction you want it to conform. And this is how I do it. Once this is glued together, I'm going to get ready to turn it on the inside out. However, since this is a smaller hat, you want to be able to get to the tip with your finger and your thumb and glue that end. So what I'm going to do is already place it on the cloth. Squeeze that in, but hold on to it while I slide the rest of this over it. And this part came off, so I will re-glue it. No biggie. Okay, so now it's inside, hidden away. You'll be able to bend that hat. Now, I just take some paper. You can use the Dollar Tree bag, depending on what color you're using as well for the hat, because some of this stuff can be see-through. You just want to bring it up to that area. You can use stuffing, toilet paper, whatever. It's enough to fill it a little bit. You know, if you want it to be like a cone shape, stuck right up there. But I want to be able to bend it, so I just want to kind of, you know, full right there. And then you're just going to, you know, bring this, cuff it a little bit. And you will place it up on your gnome when you're ready. So you want to just do one cuff or two, depending on how high it is. Later, after the nose is on and the beard is on, that is when you want to use the final touch of the micro or the microfiber or the scarf that you pick up from Dollar Tree, because you could use both. But the main idea now is to be able to bend that hat and have it look like this, whichever way you want it to go, and it's going to stay like that. And you want to put a little ball right there, you can, but that's the main little secret. And this is my second hat, because my first hat is already on the gnome. But that is the DIY, quick, easy gnome hat before you add the fur to the collar, to the bottom. This is what it looks like. I hope it's explained as well as I could do it. So my hat is bent to the side right there. And I did not place a ball up on that one. I might on this one, I'm not sure. It's one little simple roller. And give you that little look. You can cheat that. You can add more stuffing if you want, or as little as you want. Alright, let's continue with the slideshow. I am on October 3rd. I just finished my uploading of the DIY, and for some reason YouTube did not upload the section I place the beard and the nose on. Okay, luckily I bought another one of these trees, and luckily I was making a pair. So after I have wrapped the snow garland around, I did not wrap it in here yet because this one's going to be a little different, okay, but it is the 70-inch snow garland cut in half. So I just wrapped the inner part because I don't like to show that metal. Anyhow, here I am then. I don't know why YouTube did not upload it, but now that I was almost complete with bringing it live to the channel, I mentioned on there that these DollarTree will come in a tinsel iridescent color. Yes, you have to open the box if you want the pure white tree, because I've purchased 6 of these and I opened the box before I buy them, okay, and inside one of them was an iridescent tinseled tree. That is extremely hard to add hot glue items to, okay. This one isn't such an iridescent color, and it does grab onto the low temperature glue. So beware of that. They do throw in a tinsel one every now and again. With the DollarTree, or with the hat, I'm going to glue the cuff part down so it's better for me to control. And then I will place it on my tree. Now the tree has this top spiky area. That's fine. That's where you want to balance your hat out. Now, make sure you realize where your arms are, because I do the arms first, but since I have to videotape this again, I have not continued along with this second tree adding the mitts yet. So I'm going to do this and show you carefully how it is attached. Now, the ball has that spray glitter on it. That's what I wanted, and the pink. Now, find your center, and the idea is, now you can glue it to, if you added the deco mesh like I did, you can glue it to the deco mesh. If you did not, you're going to glue it to the hat first. find your top of the nose that you like and glue it to the hat. That is how I start. This is what I do. Now find your feather duster from Dollar Tree. You could trim it up later, but right now find the best area for you to add the beard. So what I do is place a few of these in. Look to see how I want it to lay. Then I add the glue to the top of the feather duster. The low heat glue. See the glue right there? And then I go up under the nose. And I conform it and press. Okay, and see it's low temperature glue. That is how I attach the beard and the hat and the nose before I add the trim. The trim is the Dollar Tree scarf. Glue it, and then I go around and I tighten it and I glue it on the back. That's the final step. Usually I'm doing this last because I need some of these pieces for the gloves as well. But that's the very last thing I do for the basic gnome before I start decorating it. So I hope that you will see this on my DIY video because I will add it in. It is October 3rd, and like I said, editing and uploading takes more time on me than does the actual DIY project. Okay? And when you add your trim, you're going to conform it. Make sure you have enough stuffing in your hat too before you do that final step. This will give you an idea where you can start adding your decorations. Or do you want to make your gnome beard into a V shape? You can do that. Just gather it together underneath and add hot glue. You can make it pointy, more prominent. Okay? Let's continue with the slideshow and backtrack to October 2nd. Thank you. My home fries will appreciate that I did stop and add this section into the video. I know you will. And there I go. Just to show you, that's the last piece you use for the hat. I don't normally add this piece till the very end, but I'm doing it now for you all. That is a little bit of a stronger cloth, and you hot glue it, and you can even use some of the branches in the back to set the material on, okay? And it keeps it conformed. And then up in the front, you add a little bit of hot glue up there, and then you can conform to the beard, and that way it just stays right on. And that's what it looks like before I decorate it. You try to work with the lightest materials you can find when you try to make this idea, because if you use felt is very heavy. I like the Waverly quarter pink fabric because it's cotton and it's very light. And then I know this muffler is a little bit thicker and a little bit easier to grab on to other materials. And then of course the feather duster, once you add glue to it, that's it. That's no stopping and pulling it apart and trying it again. So you really have to realize the certain types of material you're using and then how you apply it in the order that I do it. Okay? And of course the very top, let's see if I can move my camera, we have that hidden roller. So I was playing around with the, you know, okay, why isn't this not showing? Okay, I was playing around with this part. Okay, so see, every one you make will be a little different because that's handmade. You're not a machine. So look at the difference in the two faces. This one, the nose is just barely showing, and then this one's more prominent. But that's all right. There we go. You can add your little garland. You can add anything you want to this. I might take a trip to Hobby Lobby later today. It's Saturday, and they're not open on Sundays. So I might go out and look for some tiny little pink bulbs or tiny little silver bulbs or maybe both. I'm not sure. So later on in the future, when you see my grand finale, they might have a little bit more added pieces to them. But this is the basic idea. Alright, so let's get Babcia babysits. Miss Waverly, can you do something for me? Come here for a second. Can you pick up that shoe that's on the vanity and bring it over to me? With the silver roses? Yes, pick that up. These are my Christmas colors for this year. And pink and silver. So, going to start to add this type of crystals on my gnome. I also decided to add a little bit of white trim on each glove. That matches the trim on his hat. I have some beads, and then I have the ribbon, so I will make little bows around on the tree with some beads and ribbon. That all ties in to the moon gnome that I made a few days ago. It's all going to tie in. I showed the basic DIY and the cheapest, easiest way, and now it's time to decorate. Here's the tree stumps that Miss Legacy decorated using the crystal dangles for hair or decoration, whatever she did it for. So I'm going behind them. I want that crystal dangle for my gnome for decorations. So I'll just cut the back. It is going to be winter soon, so I don't need them all, but that's where I'll go and get the pieces for the gnomes instead of buying more on Amazon. Oh, here's an update on my catio. I placed all the weatherized shade cloth around it, doubled it up. Let's hope that that prevents all the snow and the wind this winter, so the cats can still come out and play, if they will. Not sure, it's first year, but it's an update. Nice decay. The decorations I decided is some thin ribbon, go around one of the branches, tie it, make a bow, and then you add a bead, a pearl bead on the top of it. Can you see this? Just like that. I'm going to alternate between what I have left. Pink, and then the darker pink, and then some of the cream color. The same color that's on the moon gnome. Well, another homemade DIY project for my Paris theme is complete. I'm glad you stopped in today, and I hope that I gave you some ideas. And especially if you do not find that white tree, you can use the green tree, and then all the tips that I gave you along the way. Remember, this is the DollarTree white tree, and the DollarTree foam ball, and the DollarTree scarf, plus the DollarTree feather duster. From Walmart's, the felt, and the Waverly fat quarter. Inside is rollers that keeps it pointed like that. Rollers from DollarTree. Also from Walmart's, the cute little pink ribbon and the snowball deco mesh that does not fray when you cut it. Then at home I had the crystal dangles and the pearl beads and the paints and hot glue. Thanks for stopping in, and see you again next time when we'll see what we come up with for the Paris theme. But I upload the DIYs because I'm giving you the idea of what to create for your Christmas with your color scheme and with your talent. Hashtag art is freedom. We'll see you soon. Send my blessings. Mention that if you buy the DollarTree white Christmas trees to make the DIY project gnome Christmas tree that I created, I mentioned that some of the boxes have an iridescent tinsel tree inside them, and that I opened the box first to check to see which ones I buy. Then to get them home, and then I have this instead of the white, or I have the white instead of the iridescent. And this is what the iridescent looks like. See how it picks up the light? But then I mentioned it's really hard to hot glue on this particular type of material when you're adding, for example, like I added little beads to this gnome. But you can buy these and you can add ornaments like this. And I did pick up some Dollar Tree ornaments to decorate the second gnome. They're only $1.